Good afternoon. Good afternoon, respected teacher.
Byron once said, "But words are things, and a small drop of ink, falling like dew upon a thought, produces that which makes thousands, perhaps millions, think." Good afternoon, everyone. And with this thought, we welcome each one of you to the annual Literary Fest of Mahadevi Birla World Academy, Susutopia, Coinage. I hope the students had fun learning and I'm sure we have come up with some great words which we are eagerly waiting to hear. Our esteemed judges for today's session are Ms. Devi Mukhopadhyay and Ms. Diyashri Chattopadhyay. Ms. Mukhopadhyay is a dreamer, an adventurer, a baker, a lover of nature and life. Ms. Devi Mukhopadhyay has taught in prestigious schools in Kolkata and Bhutan, been a lecturer at LAD College, Nagpur, and at EFLU, Hyderabad, at the Regional English Language Office of the US Embassy. She loves to bake, feed, write, and converse, and continues to be with the young people she has taught over the last 40 years. I request ma'am to say a few words.
Ma'am, Diyashri ma'am is here. Devi ma'am is, we're just waiting for Devi ma'am. May we please continue with Diyashri ma'am?
Yes, sure. Our next judge is Ms. Diyashri Chattopadhyay. Is an executive vice president of Ananda Bharati Publishers a dynamic young publishing house that she launched in 2020 of the ABP group. She has authored and edited textbooks for school children, conducted workshops for teachers in India, been a guest lecturer for postgraduate on publishing, and traveled to different countries to understand school pedagogy. She finds her acting, storytelling, debating, and quizzing skills as useful in pen as at the office. I request ma'am to say a few words.
Oh, and a very good afternoon to everyone present here today. It gives me great pleasure to be here. And I think that the idea of this very event is an absolutely wonderful one. Dr. Zeus is an author that we all grew up reading. And we're very pleased that generation after generation discover his works. And each of you who must have read these books, these few books which were recommended to you, I hope that this will open up a new journey for you into the world of Dr. Seuss, into the world of words, really. And each of the books that you read or the other works of his that you will read, you'll find that there's always a lot of humor, a lot of fun, but also a very deep message, a moral, which is very important, which is very close to our hearts. So whether it be about the environment, whether it be about nuclear war, there is always a message that the books leave for us. And that really is what literature is all about. The idea of this fest Coinage, which requires you to look into the words very deeply and to come up with your own creative words. I hope that maybe for many of you, it's the first step into the journey to becoming an author. I wish each of the students here all the very best. I've seen some of the entries and they look very exciting, and I'm really looking forward to the interaction today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Devi Birla World for inviting me, and I wish everyone all the best.
Thank you, ma'am. I think our first judge, Ms. Mukhopadhyay, is with us. And let me introduce her once again.
Go ahead.
Ms. Mukhopadhyay is a teacher, a dreamer, an adventurer, a baker, a lover of nature and life. Ms. Devi Mukhopadhyay has taught in prestigious schools in Kolkata and Bhutan, been a lecturer at LAD College, Nagpur, and at EFLU, Hyderabad. She also did a short stint at the Regional English Language Office of the US Embassy. She loves to bake, feed, write, and converse, and continues to be friends with young people she has taught for the last 40 years. I request ma'am to say a few words.
Oh, okay. I'm finally here. I'm so sorry. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Teachers and students and my fellow judge, Diyashri. Now, I'm really excited to be here because it's been a long time since I interacted with young minds. And the kind of effort you have put into this to form words and to illustrate the words is really heartening to see. Let's see how the interaction goes, the creativity that flows then, and then we can take it forward. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Over to Ms. Mitra.
Thank you, ma'am. I would now request, the judges to would the judges like to have all the participants together or one by one? If the judges could kindly share their views.
Would it be possible to have them all together?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure, ma'am. If you want all of them, we'll keep all of them, and then you can ask start asking question one by one, school wise, ma'am. If you want all of them together, we can keep them.
What do you think, Diyashri?
Sure, I think it would be nice to have everyone online at the same time. We can all learn from each other.
Right.
Thank you, ma'am. Then welcome all once again. And teacher reps are free to leave. However, you are most welcome to stay. And if you wish, you can also watch the live stream on the YouTube link that has been provided. And I would request then all of you to kindly not leave and stay here till the end. Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am. Over to you all, ma'am. Calling out the first name, ma'am. Just 1 second. I'm so sorry. Trisha, ma'am.
You want me to call out the name of the first school?
No, yes, I've got it. APJ School, Park Street.
Sharing the document.
Good luck to all of us.
I have one thing to say about the illustrations. They're all very good.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Good afternoon, students. If the students from each school, the participants, the person who is supposed to just introduce their words, could you please start?
Yes,
From
ma'am.
APJ School, Park Street. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. My name is Nabanvi Kashyap. I'm from APG School Park Street and I'm from class 5A. So I coined 3 words. The first one, if we go in alphabetical order, being Dumbledorable. Dumbledorable. So this is an adjective. Dumbledore plus able. So Dumbledore is a very popular character from the most popular book series in the world, I guess. From Harry Potter. And Dumbledore is the greatest wizard known to wizardry. So I added Dumbledore and able together to make Dumbledorable, which means Dumbledore can do impossible things in the series and has done many things like fight Voldemort and fight even Grindelwald. So by combining able and Dumbledore, I thought that I could make the word such that it says that anything is possible even if it is done miraculously or mysteriously. So this was my first word, Dumbledorable. And so my next word was so my next word was Hortenspeck, alphabetically. So Hortenspeck, I combined Horton and Speck together to make Hortenspeck. So Horton was from obviously the book Horton Years Ago, and Speck is something that is very small, like a speck on the horizon. So I combined these 2 words to make Hortenspeck, which is something that is too small to be seen by the naked eye, but it can be seen or known after a lot of effort. So what I did here was a Horton, which saved Whoville, which was a completely different world in a speck of dust, which was too small to be seen. But he still saw it, and he tried to explain it to the others that there are people there. Just like that, any bacteria or anything, it is there, but we just can't see it. So like this, I thought of making the word Hortenspeck. It means something that is visible or is there, but it needs a lot of instruments and a lot of effort to be known or seen. So this was my second word. So my third word was here. My third was tin. Curiosity. Curiosity, a little hard to pronounce. So curiosity means to know something in detail with persistent curiosity, either to solve a mystery or a crime. I took this, I combined Tintin and curiosity. So Tintin is a popular book series from Herge. Tintin is from Belgium. So Tintin, who was a detective, always solved cases no matter what happened. He was very smart and he was always curious to know the next clue or puzzle, what was going to happen next. So I combined Tintin, shortened Tintin, Tinturiosity, and combined curiosity with Tintin so that the word would make Tinturiosity. So, like, humans have done so much because of their Tinturiosity. They never stop thinking, and yeah, this was my third word. So these were all my words I made from here, and also my partner did the illustrations of Abhijit Mukherjee of 4A. So Baba, that was all I had to present.
You know, Varun?
Yes, ma'am.
So you may ask them anything that you wish.
Ma'am, I don't have anything to ask.
Okay. And may the judges ask you?
Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Yes, she go first. Can't hear you.
Ma'am, we are not getting your voice. Ma'am, would you like to try without the earphone? Yes.
Hello?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
You
Now
can
we
hear
can.
me now? Okay. My earphones have let me down for some reason. Am I clearly audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. So, I was wondering if Amrik is also here.
Yes, ma'am. Amrik is also here.
Yes, ma'am. I'm also here.
And does Amrik have anything to say about his illustrations?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I draw a person on Mars for Dumbledorable because Dumbledorable is a word that means doing something miraculously that has been never done before. So till now, nobody has been able to, no person has been able to step on Mars. So I drew that. And for Horton Speck, I drew a scientist looking through a microscope into some virus. Example, coronavirus. So it is a Horton Speck because we can't see coronavirus and doctors only see them through microscopes.
Right. Okay.
And
And
for Tintin, Tinturiosity, I have drawn Tintin with binoculars and with some very curious expressions. He's
Right.
looking to find out what is going on.
I like how you think that the first person to go on Mars will be an Indian because you put the flag of India over there.
Right.
I had one question for Nobarun as the person who came up with the words. So, Dumbledorable, the meaning that you've given, it looks at the word able, but there's also another word which is hidden in Dumbledorable.
Yes, ma'am.
Which
Dumb,
is
adorable.
adorable. So, don't you think adorable would have been a nice thing to focus on as well? Someone who's very nice and does amazing things?
Yes, ma'am. I actually, that didn't fly into my mind while I was making the words. So I really regret it. But yeah, I really.
Nothing to regret. Go on.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, like Dumbledorable is like first of all I thought Albus Abel, which was the first name of Dumbledore. So he's a long name. So but then I thought that Albus, not everyone knows Albus. Everyone in the whole world, whoever knows Harry Potter or Dumbledore, knows his name in Dumbledore only. Nobody knows Albus Dumbledore. Not everyone knows. So I thought of adding Dumbledore and able in there, so that it can be something that is made possible, which sounds impossible at first.
Okay. So I think it's really nice. I think the lesson that we all learned from this is that words give rise to other words. So maybe the creator of the word doesn't think of something, but then that is always hidden. The meaning is hidden. So you've given us something very nice to think about.
Right.
And Mukhopadhyay, if you would.
Yes. No, I even the word adorable had come to my mind, but I was wondering whether he could have highlighted the same, instead of going into what was Dumbledore, what was the association you had with Dumbledore?
Doing remarkable things.
Yes. So instead of that, if you could have, just a suggestion, you could have thought of something that people would adore when he did it,
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Just a suggestion. See, words are creations, right? So somebody somewhere creates a word and then it assumes meaning. And that's what you have been doing. But I like the way the two minds have worked and, produced these illustrations. This is very nice. Amrik, very good job.
Thank you.
Very interesting words.
Shall we go on to the next?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Amrik, and thank you, Navarun. Next participating, please stay. Next school is Abhinav Bharti High School.
Requesting the participants of Abhinav Bharti High School to please explain the words.
If I may interrupt, sorry, ma'am, everybody, we are following the alphabetical order. So if the participants could please be ready. The next school, ma'am, Shohini ma'am, if you could tell us the name of the next school, then they can be ready also. After Abhinav Bharti.
Next school is Birla High School, and after that, Birla High School, Mukundapur.
Thank you. So participants, please be ready.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Shokanti Ranjan Roy of Class 5A, Abhinav Bharati High School. Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Vansh Arora. I am from Abhinav Bharati High School. I have coined the words and my friend Shokanti Ranjan Roy has illustrated the terms which I have coined. I have coined 3 words. The first word that I have coined is glove. This new word has been coined by mixing a literary character Gulliver from Gulliver's Travels and the action word laugh. Gulliver is a verb. Laugh is a verb. The second word that I have coined is pronoun. This new word has been coined by mixing a literary character Pinocchio from the Adventures of Pinocchio and the action word found. Pronoun is a verb. The third word that I have coined is vomil. This new word has been coined by mixing a literary character Willy Wonka from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and the action word smell. Vomil is a noun.
Shokanti, would you like to say something about the illustrations?
Yes, ma'am. The first illustration that I have made was from the sentence glove, was from the word glove, and my friend Ansh has mixed them by taking the Gulliver from Gulliver's Travels and the action word laugh. Ma'am, I have drawn there as because it was told that laugh means a sudden laughter in a sorrowful occasion. So, ma'am, here two children are laughing at a funeral of a man. And ma'am, my second drawing was of pinout. Pinout means to find something at the last moment. So, ma'am, here a boy has found the tickets of the train at the last moment. Without the tickets, if he entered the train, he would have to get out from the train. And ma'am, my third drawing is the word from Vomel. Vomel means a strong, disgusting smell. Ma'am, so I have drawn two boys are standing and they could not stand the smell of the baked beans.
Why?
I'm
Don't
done.
you like baked beans?
No,
I had
ma'am.
the same thought.
I'm sure you don't like baked beans.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What made you think of these words? Ansh, right?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I was reading the story, so suddenly I thought that it can made a word, so that I have made a word.
So what were you
Love,
reading?
love.
Gulliver's Travels?
Yeah, ma'am, I am reading Gulliver Travels, Pinocchio, The Adventures of Pinocchio, and the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
So the glaf, is the G silent? Is the first G supposed to be silent, or
No, ma'am, no, ma'am.
it's pronounced? Okay.
We pronounce like glove.
Okay.
So do you think that will get mixed up with glove sometimes?
No, ma'am. We
Why
can't
not?
mix gloves.
Why not? Tell me that.
Ma'am, because it can't contain in any story that gloves word.
Okay.
There is no word glove in all the three stories.
Okay. I was hoping that you'll tell me that they're two very different vowels, glove and glove. So
Ma'am, there is very difference.
it is very
Gloves
different.
and
Yeah, that's true.
glove.
Good job. What do you think, Diashi?
Good job. I like the literary connotations. I mean, whether it's the association of Gulliver and something inappropriate, or whether it's Willy Wonka and smell, which is very. I mean, these kind of blend very nicely. But I was just wondering, what is it that Pinocchio finds? Is there something that you had in mind when you put Pinocchio together? I mean, with Pinocchio, we always think of lying or the nose growing, things like that. But is there a search?
Pinocchio was made up of log, a wood. Pinocchio was made up of a wood, and when he tell lies, then he knows starting growing up.
Why did that make you think of finding something?
When Geppetto was walking in the garden, then he see a log, wider and long log. Then he thought that he can make a puppet with it, and he take a log and carry on to his workshop.
Okay. All right. Okay. But Geppetto also goes looking for Pinocchio and has to find him inside a whale. Pinocchio goes looking for Geppetto and finds him inside a whale.
Yes, ma'am.
There is a search there as well. Thank you. I think I had no more questions, ma'am.
No, I'm done.
We have Birla. Thank
Well
you.
presented and well illustrated, both of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Next school is Birla High School.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Sambuddha Roy, and my partner's name is Aditya Vikram Vina. He has illustrated. We are representing Birla High School. Word number 1, Horton. The first part, Horton, comes from the book Horton Hears a Who, and care is a verb. Together, it is a noun. As there are 3 vowel sounds, it is divided into 3 parts. Ho, ton, e. The meaning of Horton is a person who is as caring as Horton. Because I've chosen this word because in the story, Horton the elephant was very caring and believed every person was equal, no matter how small. Example, Horton, do not despair, cheer up in the company of an Horton. Word number 2, Grinch. The first part, Grinch, comes from how the Grinch stole Christmas, and charm, of course, is a verb. Together, it is an adjective. Of course, there are 2 vowel sounds. So, as you can see, it is divided into 2 parts. The meaning of Grincha is the quality of transforming oneself from being selfish and grumpy to being a charming person. Because in the story, after the Grinch had stole the Whoville's, after the Grinch had stole all the Who's presents, he went to dump it on the side of Mount Crumpet. But he suddenly heard the Who's singing and realized that he hadn't stolen Christmas. And so he puzzled and puzzled and puzzled. And then the selfish and grumpy Grinch eventually turned into a charming person as he actually pushed his sleigh towards Whoville. Example, if you want to remain a selfish child, you may, but it is always better to change yourself in a Grinch-charm way. Word number 3, Moogism. Actually, ma'am, the Moogism, the moo like a moo that is coming from Butter Battle book, we cut out the laka moo part and only placed the first part moo. And gazam is the sound from the lorax. As of course, as there are 3 vowel sounds, it is divided into 3 parts. The meaning of Moogism is the fall of an over-pampered character, and it is a noun. If a child or an adult is over-pampered, he will not determine to do something and will never be successful. He will have a steep fall and he will become a Moogism. Example, if you too much love on a child you dump, in later years, he might become a Moogism. Thank you.
Where's the artist?
I am the illustrator.
Aditya Vikram Vinayak.
Aditya Vikram. Is there anything you want to say?
Yes, ma'am. I illustrated the word Hortoner in such a way so I can show one and all loving the whole word. And I illustrated the word Grincham. So, ma'am, what I did was I placed Grinch with a very big heart in which he saw himself smiling and his cute little dog with him. And as background, I placed smileys all over around. And for Moogism, I showed and fall of an over-pampered character. We all know that a cow is a very over-pampered character. I wanted to represent it in a cartoonish way. So what I did was that I made it fall from a tree.
He climbed the tree and then fell out of it. Just as I said,
Yes.
the ones who are over pampered always have a steep fall.
Did you think of the holy cow falling down?
I never thought of that.
Why a cow? I mean, why not a dog? A dog is very pampered.
Yes, ma'am, but dog is a very usual animal all over the world.
I love the thought of the fall of the holy cow, as it were.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what.
I don't know if that's what he thought, but that was a lovely thought. Very interesting thoughts behind the illustrations.
Right.
Thank you.
I just had a problem with Grinch. I would have had it more as a noun than an adjective.
I had the same question.
Why did you use it as an adjective?
Because it is describing the Grinch as a charming person.
Fine, we have no problem with that, you know. But
what
if you
part of speech is charm? Sorry, ma'am, I interrupted you.
No, it's fine. We're working together. So, Shambhuddha, what part of speech is charm?
Well, it is a verb.
Charm?
And he's thinking she charmed her. He
Yes.
charmed, but also
a noun.
Charming is an adjective, of course.
Yes, sir.
So maybe you could make, Grinch charm into a noun and then have somebody who's Grinch charming.
Somebody who's Grinch charming.
Yes, think about it. I mean,
well, we couldn't find anyone who's Grinch charming, but we could, see a link on how the Grinch stole Christmas and the Selfish Giant by Oscar Wilde.
Yes. So, but can you see the link now? I mean, what we are suggesting. Can you see that now?
Yes, absolutely.
You just need to tweak the sentence a little bit. Use it as an adjective and not as a noun.
In fact, this word could be a verb, an adjective. I mean, if we tweak the word and a noun. Okay. He Grinch charms his way through life. Something like that.
That is more like it.
You'd also get the idea of smiling then. The grin.
Yes.
Really nice.
See how the judges are becoming children?
That is a very good joke.
So I'd just like to add that I really found it charming that in two of the examples you used a rhyme. In fact, in all three examples.
Yes.
But the second one, you haven't written it, you haven't broken the sentence like that. But yes, I like the idea of rhyming in your examples. Whoever came up with that, well done. So shall we move on?
Yes, I think.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Shohini.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, David. Good afternoon, Devidi
Good
and
afternoon.
Tiyashri. You kind of charmed me, and I can't stop grinning so much so that I've forgotten whether it's morning or afternoon. So, welcome, and welcome to Sisotopia, and welcome to this mad world of ours. Thank you so much. I love the way. I mean, I just love this. This concept of the cow, but I do hope that we are not treading on dangerous grounds, that apart, forget it. But I love the way you guys are interacting with the children. I'm just loving it. So great. I'll be there. I'm muting myself, and please carry on. And once again, welcome.
Thank you,
carry
ma'am.
on.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Stop saying thank you, ma'am, David. Please. It's okay. You've really become a child. Okay, let's carry on. Come.
Our next school is Birla High School from Mukundapur.
Good afternoon, distinguished teachers and friends. I am Naman Gupta
I coined the word and my friend Parijat Chaturaj made the drawing. The first word is jurisdiction. The syllable division of jurisdiction is Drew, Isti, K, and Shun. The parts of speech is noun, and the common noun is jurisdicator. The verb is jurisdicate. The meaning of jurisdiction is the investigation of the stolen art. The example is a jurisdiction was conducted at the Louvre Museum. The explanation is this invokes Nancy Drew by Caroline Key. It connects Nancy Drew and the word investigation because Nancy Drew was an investigator. My second word is harmit. The syllable division of harmit is har and mit. The parts of speech is noun. The meaning is one believes in myths or things that do not exist. The example is we have to give the hermits a reality check. The explanation is this invokes Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. It connects Harry and the word myth. The third word is twistender. The syllable division of twistender is twistender. The parts of speech is noun and the verb is twistending. The meaning is a person who creates confusion trying to solve a problem. The explanation is don't rely on him. He is a twistender. The explanation is this invokes Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. It connects twist to the word end. Thank you.
Thank you, Naman. Your artist?
No, ma'am.
I am.
No, where's your artist?
I am Parijat.
Hi, Parijat. Anything you'd like to add?
Ma'am, I can explain my drawing.
Please.
Like in the first drawing, it's the word is investigation, which means that investigation of a stolen art. So here a detective is standing and a picture frame, and I have put a question mark inside the picture frame because the picture is missing and the detective is looking where the picture has gone or who has stolen it. He's searching for that. Then my second drawing is second word is hermit, and I have drawn a unicorn and two people. One person is talking with the unicorn, but unicorn is not a real character, but the person is imagining that unicorn is beside it, him, and he's talking with it. But the person who has a question mark on his head, he cannot see the unicorn, so he's confused that whom that person is talking with. And my third drawing is that word is twistender, and the meaning is a person who creates great confusion trying to solve a problem. So this person was doing a science experiment, and then he did a mistake and he created a big confusion, but when he was trying to solve the problem.
Ma'am, did you have any questions?
I couldn't think of any. You go first. Let's see. I might come up with something.
So I liked how, the word you think of with starting with harm is often harmony. And hermit seems to be the other end, the other side to harmony. Do you think that these are very feasible words? I mean, do you think these are words that would be easily used? Because some of your words are a little long, like trustigation is quite a long word. Naman?
I think it can be used sometimes in some stories or when we are talking about history, then especially we can use investigation.
Okay. Yes. But are they, I mean, I can't really think of any questions now.
I think the twist ender was the twist at the end. We kind of we're overwhelmed by your words. They're very nicely illustrated and very interesting concepts, of course. So well done there. But I think no questions.
Yes.
Okay. Great job, guys. Maybe moving on?
Yes.
Thank
I
you,
think we
ma'am.
can move on.
Next, be Bhagwati Devi Memorial International.
Yes, ma'am. This is Grace Rai Chaudhuri. Ma'am, my partner. Good afternoon, respected judges, teachers, and friends. This is Grace Rai Chaudhuri. I have coined the new words while my partner Pratyush Putatunda has made the illustrations. In the first page of the document, I have written all the information about who has done which thing and everything. And in the second page, I have inserted some of the pictures drawn by Pratyush. And the name of the dictionary is a bit different. It is written as dictionary and Dr. Seuss. So dictionary. So the first word that I have made is vonculate. The thing that I have kept in mind while making all the words, that my word must have a lot of diversity. So the first word that I've made is vonculate. Its syllable division is vong, ko, and let. It is a noun. It is an extremely delicious, luscious, and creamy chocolate dessert. These type of chocolates are actually a bit different and they are colorful, because in the illustration, as you can see, the chocolates are different. They are very colorful. The sentence that I have made is Huck made voncolets for us on his birthday. Its origin. I like Roald Dahl's books a lot and I read them very often. So I remembered Willy Wonka because he is a very funny and whimsical character. And Willy Wonka was a very famous chocolate factory owner. And so I also kept the word chocolate in my mind. So together I mixed them and made the word voncolate. Plural form is voncolets. Pratyush has drawn a person in Dr. Seuss's style. As this was Seussotopia, he thought that I can make a person in the Seussical style, in the Seussical drawing style. So he made a long nose like Dr. Seuss used to do. But instead of making them angry and aggressive, like in Butter Battle book, he made them happy, because when someone is celebrating his or her birthday, they must be happy and cheerful. And they are holding the voncolets. Voncolets have many flavors and they come in many colors. And the second word that I have made is greenet. In the first word, I wanted to make it funny and hilarious because I like chocolates. Everybody likes chocolates. People are happy when they eat chocolate. That's why I wanted to make it funny and I made it funny. At least I think it's funny. But the second word is greenet. Syllable division greenet. It is a verb and the meaning is kind of serious. It means hatred. It's related to hatred. It means hating someone for no valid reason or for no good reason, which leads to a fight or a lot of chaos. When somebody is talking something about hate, they do not want to laugh.
Somebody won't want to laugh when they're talking something about hate or fight. So I wanted to keep it short and I wanted to make it to the point. The sentence that I've made is the two girls were grinning over the teddy bear. There is no reason to fight for a teddy bear because teddy bears are just toys. So it's not a good reason to fight with someone. That's why I used the object teddy bear. And Pratyush has drawn two girls in the musical style, in a different musical style. So he has not kept the noses long, and he has drawn a teddy bear. And they are both struggling to snatch it from the other person, the teddy bear, like kids do. I mean, younger kids do. The third word that I have made is Rapunzelus. Its syllable division is Rapunzelus. I wanted to make it exotic or elegant, and it is an adjective. Uh, Rapunzel was a girl who had the zeal to explore the world, to get out of her tower. So I could relate that character, Rapunzel, with the word zeal. So I combined these two words, Rapunzel and zealous, meaning, I think you can understand from my explanation, it means very excited or enthusiastic about something. Like Rapunzel was very enthusiastic about exploring the world. One thing I kept in mind while making these words, that I want to make the words related to the characters. Like Rapunzel 1, Rapunzel had zeal to explore the world, and this word also means Rapunzelus. The word Grinch hated Christmas, and he did not have a good reason to hate Christmas. So, Grinch, hating someone for no good reason. And the first word, Wonkolits. Willy Wonka made extremely delicious chocolates, and the flavors were very unique. All the different types of flavors were very unique. So I made the word Wonkolet, which is related to chocolate, and it comes in many different flavors. One thing Pratyush kept in mind while making the drawings, that it should be matching with the page color, where the words are written, so that the presentation, the document looks very beautiful. And he kept that in mind, and he drew Sammy. The sentence that I've made is Sammy was admired for his Rapunzel's participation in the race, and he drew Sammy. He kept the noses long again because it looks kind of funny, and he's happy. He's happy that he won, that he came first in the race. And someone can come first in any sort of competition only when they have the will, the excitement to do it. That's why Sammy came first, because he had the zeal to do it. That's why he participated in the race Rapunzelously. And then in the last page, I have written all the acknowledgements and everything, just like in a real dictionary. In the back page, everything is written, who has written, and all of these things. There is no book cover in here, so I've written all those things in the last page, and I have inserted two more drawings that he made and our pictures. Ma'am, that was all.
I think Praktish would like to say.
No, ma'am.
Nothing about your drawings?
Yes, I can say. Can I start?
Yes, please.
The first drawing I have drawn was Wonkolet. I think that I can draw in a musical style. That will look very good. So I thought, I know that Butterbottle book also have this like character. So I take this character from Butterbottle book and color like this.
And the next drawing I have drawn that two girls are fighting for a teddy bear. I have this idea from my mind. I have not seen anything and I draw this. And the third drawing I have drawn, can you please show that Sammy has get the first prize in the race. And I also draw this in a Susical style. And I match the PDF page also, like the background. Thank you. That I tell.
Ma'am, anything you had in mind?
I liked Wonkolit. It's
Yes, ma'am. I tried
sort
to
of-
make it a bit
Yes.
funny because
Because-
Willy Wonka was a funny character.
No,
himself.
that wasn't the reason. It sounds more like a advertising slogan kind of thing. When you have a special kind of chocolate which is called Wonkolit,
Yes,
there's a
ma'am.
kind of branding. But,
Yes.
But I'm a little ambivalent about the other two. What about you, Dhyashri?
Well, I like the Rapunzel and finding the word zeal inside that,
Hmm.
and the way that Rapunzel is kind of flows. I like that. But
But what is our childhood association with Rapunzel?
I think this is a modern day childhood association. I have it because of my kids. I've watched Tangled some 248 times. So, and the Rapunzel that they've added in the presentation is the Disney or Pixar from the Tangled movie, right? That's the modern Rapunzel. And the entire theme of that movie is get out of the tower. Not the prince and the long hair. That's all secondary. It's just get out of the tower. So that I think resonated with me because I can see where my kids would like it.
Actually, ma'am, I would like to add something. Ma'am, actually, I like chocolates. That's why I remembered the word chocolate and Willy Wonka and Wonkolets. Sometimes I also argue for no reason. That's why the word hatred and everything came to my mind. And the third thing, I also have the excitement to explore and travel the whole world, see every nook and corner of the world, see monuments and everything. So these three words, I have tried to relate it with my
I have
with the
one.
things that I wish to do.
I have one
Things
little
that I
question
wish
for
to eat.
Pratyush.
Yes,
Pratyush,
ma'am.
why did you have two girls fighting over a teddy bear?
Because only girls play with teddy bear.
See? Okay.
No, ma'am, it's not true. Even my elder cousin, who is a boy, also fights with me over toys.
I think that was a clever save. He didn't want to say only girls fight, given that both the judges are girls.
Yes.
And trust Devidi to come up with this question. This is what it's absolutely lovely.
All right.
Chris, I did want to know because you said you read a lot of Roald Dahl. What other Roald Dahl books have you read?
Ma'am, actually, I bought a whole set. So the books that I liked, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is like the best one. The Witches, the BFG, Matilda. Matilda, I've read a lot of times actually. I've read.
No, it's okay. It was just a curiosity. You remind me a little bit of Matilda. So very nicely done, I think.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, both of you.
Thank you.
I think that
the
was
sad
that
fact
was
is that I've
lovely.
not watched any of the movies. Thank you, ma'am.
That was a nice afterthought. I haven't watched any of the movies. I've just been doing this on books. Love that.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. On with the next school, Calcutta Internet. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Birla Vidya Niketan.
Yes. Okay, ma'am.
Greetings, dear judges. My name is Kerry Verma and I'm a participant of the Coinage competition and I am representing Birla Vidyaniketan, New Delhi. We loved coining words from Dr. Seuss. He is an American children's writer, political cartoonist, illustrator, poet, animator, and filmmaker. His stories are definitely with a message. The colorful, imaginative animation, the ability to connect with any age group. His famous illustrations, clever rhymes, toe-tapping rhythms, and silly tongue twisters make his books so unique. His most famous books have been adapted into countless films and stage plays and continue to sell millions of copies each year. Some of the most popular Dr. Seuss films include How the Grinch Stole Christmas, The Lorax, and The Cat in the Hat. Dr. Seuss stories are incredibly silly and filled with tongue twisters, but rhymes are also great for kids learning to read, and many books are suitable for young readers to read alone. So now it's time for my partner Bhavit Nagpal from 5F to speak now.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bhavit, and I am the illustrator.
Yes. Thank you, Bhavit. So our first word is ukite, and it is an adjective. Its syllable division is yuk-ite. And I've taken both of these words from the famous story, which is from Dr. Seuss, The Butter Bat. So its meaning is a person who always does things in a right or an honest way. So basically, in the butter battle, there were youths who were a literary character in the story, and they used to do everything in the right way. For example, they used to put the butter on top of the bread. But unlike them, there was another literary character which was the Zooks. So they used to put the butter under the bread. So that means they used to do things in a wrong way. So I even have a sentence which is my father is a Yukite businessman. So I am describing my father, a Yukite. And now my second word is Merak, which is an adjective, and its syllable division is may-rak. So basically, as I've written that it is adjective on the top, but in the sentence, we actually used it as a verb. So I've taken these both words from the story Horton Has a Who, which is also from Dr. Seuss. So there is a literary character who is the mayor, and he believes that in in Whoville, in the village that he used to live, so he was a Who. So outside his village, he believed that the animals there wouldn't believe that they existed. So that's why he would tell all the people who were basically the Who's and the villagers of Whoville. So he used to tell to make the sound that they used to do more louder and more louder, so that the animals outside his village would hear and finally believe that they exist. So its meaning is a person who makes constant efforts to have himself heard. And the sentence is Mr. Edward always made acts in the class, but still no one pays attention. And now our last and the third word is hortine, which is an adjective again. And its syllable division is hort-in. So I've again taken these words from the famous story Horton Hears a Who, which is also again from Dr. Seuss. So in this, Horton is a very kind and helpful elephant. So he's very keen to hear and help others. So he helped the Who's in Whoville to tell them and to inform them that the animals still can't hear them, to make the noise even more louder. So now, let me tell you that Cotton the elephant had a great sense of hearing. He could even hear and if he was talking to him, and he would even hear the smallest of the smallest of the smallest people that ever existed on the planet. So its meaning is someone who has a great ability to hear everything. Sentence. I can't keep any secrets as my sister is a horror teen. So we have coined words which are simple, easy to use, ring the bell, which is true to the writing style of Dr. Seuss. Thank you.
Avik, anything you'd like to add?
Yes, ma'am, I would like to add, I have made these illustrations with the deep understanding of the word, which we have coined, like Ukite. It means a person who always does things in a right or honest way. So I have drawn a superhero which with a checklist who has been successful in doing his work in a right way. Nowadays, we all have to be a superhero so that we can keep ourselves and our dear ones safe. So for me, one who is doing things in a right way is a superhero. Second word is Merak, which means a person who makes constant efforts to have himself heard. So I have drew a boy holding an instrument through which he is putting efforts to make the people hear about what he wants to say. Thirdly and last word is Hortin, which means someone who has a great ability to hear everything. So I have drew a boy with a big ear to show he is listening carefully with his big ears. Thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am?
Yeah, I was just again thinking of the part of speech of Ukite. Wouldn't it be better as I mean, I don't know. I'm a little confused about this word.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain that to me again?
Yes, ma'am. So basically, Ukite is a describing word, which means it's an adjective, and we can use it for people who do the things and always
Do you see the mismatch with the illustration? Have you seen the illustration?
Yes,
with that Superman kind of character with Ukite
Yes.
written on his belt?
Yes, ma'am.
So what does that make it? Is it an adjective or noun?
So, ma'am, it's basically its quality.
Yes. Okay, it's a quality.
Yes.
So what part of speech should a quality be?
So, ma'am, I think it's an adjective because it's an describing word.
Okay.
So when you think of Superman, Ravi,
Yes.
What do you think of the words and what do you think is the part of speech of the word Superman?
So, ma'am, again, it's a describing word.
Superman, Spider-Man, Batman?
Yes, ma'am. Basically like a noun.
Noun, proper nouns, right? So I think that's where we are coming from. But if we abandon traditional grammar for a while, maybe we can let it go. I like the sentence.
Yeah.
But I had a different, fairly unrelated question. But you've read the book, right? You've read the Butter Battle book.
Yes.
And then you came up with this word. So did you think that the Ukes were always right or that the Ukes were right?
Yes, Pam, even though in the story they did some kind of war with the Zooks, because like in the story, a boy which was a Zook, he like slingshotted, I think, a rock into their path because there was a wall that divided. But I think that was the only mistake that they made, and they always used to do the right.
Okay. The other words?
No, so just taking off from there, I like the word, and I like the thought. I like the conviction with which you kind of come into this. But I think it's worth going back and reading the book again to see what Dr. Seuss had in mind. Because if you remember the ending, which is an absolutely open ending, it kind of seems to hint that neither side was quite right. So, but since you've used Eucrite with businessmen, and we all know that no businessman can ever be completely right.
Yes,
I say this as a person.
Can do some kind of mistake.
So I think there's an interesting connotation to the word there.
Yes, ma'am, but we are like describing the quality.
Yes, yes, yes.
Poor thing. These concepts are too adult for them, I guess.
I find children come up with, or young people actually, I mean, not children may not be the right word. They come up with some very, very, very interesting concepts of their own, and it is always nice to hear. I was just wondering whether when you came up with Horteen, you also thought of the sister as a teenager.
No, ma'am.
Nothing like that?
It was just like a thought.
I
don't have any like sister, but I just give it as a thought.
A nice set of words and illustrations, I think. Ma'am, any other questions?
No.
Okay.
I think we can go on.
We can go on.
So, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next school is Calcutta International School.
Good afternoon, guests, teachers, judges, and friends. Today, me and my partner, Aditi, are going to be showing you 3 words and 3 drawings. The first word is hortective. It has 3 syllables, hortec and tive. It's an adjective. It describes someone who protects the disadvantaged and doesn't let anyone hurt them. Hannah was very hortective towards the soaked little girl. The origin of the word. The word has been derived from Horton, a character in the book. Horton hears of who and protective. In the book, Horton says a person is a person, no matter how small, and protects the whos. Horton protected the whos by risking his life when he was locked and caged by the animals in the jungle of Nool. That's what inspired me to create a word, hortective. It can be any. You can protect anyone. Either it's an elderly member of your family or a stranger in the street. Protective, someone who protects those less advantaged than him or her. The second word is popinsicle. It has 4 syllables. Popinsicle. It's an adjective. It describes an event or person so bizarre that you question whether it or they are even real. The woman flying in the air with a handbag, it was so popinsicle that I almost fainted. The origin of the word. The word has been derived from Mary Poppins, who was quaint and whimsical in an amusing way. Mary Poppins was so amazingly whimsical that when she jumped into paintings, talked to animals, got into fights with Father Christmas himself. Popinsicle means quaint in an amusing way. The third word and the final word is sophiosity. It has 5 syllables. Sophiosity. It's a noun. A feeling of curiosity and fear for a thing or person that cannot hurt you. Urged by her sophiosity, she unlocked the door. The origin of the word. The word has been derived from Sophie, a character in the book of BFG, and curiosity. In the book, Sophie is too curious for her own good, and she fearfully discovers the BFG, who is a gentle giant and will not hurt her. But Sophie also discovers a troublehumper, or as we call it, a nightmare, a very dangerous thing for us in the sleeping world, but it's not actually dangerous in the waking world. Sophie's curiosity plays a big role in shaping her personality, so I was inspired by that and to make a word called Sophiosity, a feeling of curiosity for fear for something that cannot hurt you, like a butterfly.
Well, Aditri?
Yes, Miss Mukhopadhyay.
Anything you'd like to add about the drawings, Aditri?
Yes, teachers. For the first drawing, I've drawn this older girl named Hannah. And she's feeling very protective about this soaked little girl whose umbrella is broken and tattered. And therefore protecting her from the rain with her own very big umbrella. Now for the second drawing, I have drawn Mary Poppins, who is a literary character written by P.L. Travers. And her clothes are very tattered, which is very whimsical, as Mary Poppins is usually always in perfect shape. And her umbrella, her prized umbrella, is also tattered. And so she is using her carpet bag as a parachute. And all of the stuff that were in her carpet bag are falling out.
Please scroll the pictures for her.
Yes, it seems to have stopped.
Yes, and for the next drawing, which is
Sophiosity.
Sophiosity, yes. Please scroll down. We see Sophie hiding behind a door and the BFG on the other side. Sophie is a bit fearful as the BFG, as she is not leaving her side of the door. And in the same way, she is very curious as she's speaking out a little. Now, the BFG, absolutely harmless, is holding a bottle, which Sophie is wondering about. But it really cannot harm you. That's all I have to say.
Why the elephants on the umbrella? Aditri?
See, the drawing is in no way connected to the book Hot in Here as a whole. And I think that the elephants would be an element of Horton that can make the drawing a little bit more connected with the story.
It was a nice touch.
Thank you.
As was the bizarreness of Mary Poppins being quite out of order. I quite liked the drawings, the thought that went behind them. As also the words. So
yeah, and the words have a nice, a native ring to them, in the sense that they sound very English.
Thank you. I tried my best to research on what would sound the most normalist and less as hard to pronounce.
Any questions, Diyashri, from you?
No questions really. I quite I think some of these are words that might well make their way into the dictionary in time.
Yes.
And I did quite like them. They had a nice ring to them. So really well done there.
Thank you.
But just a thought, and don't take this as a criticism per se, but because you guys have done a very good job, so I'd just like to put this as a thought that your presentation is lovely, the drawing, the words, there's a lot of thought to them. The example sentences maybe could have been a little more funny. I think you have it in you.
Yes, it's too earnest.
Yes, I mean, the fact that the rest of it is earnest is lovely. But even if it's supposed to be a dictionary entry and therefore maybe you kept it serious, but if it is funny, that always goes, it takes things in a nice light, because I think you've done a lovely job. So just a thought there for future competitions and so on.
Again,
make people laugh and you've got their vote.
To go back to being a grammar guru, how would you use hortective as a noun?
You could use it as like a thing, like hortective as a noun. You could use it as also a personality trait.
No, how would you make changes to the word to make it a noun?
To make it a noun, I would basically change most of like the describing part of it more to like a more natural part of it, that you have this earnest feeling in yourself that you need to protect somebody who is like hurt or disadvantaged or even just lost their things or just a small kitten. And like that's something that naturally comes to us. So I think that would be the change that I would make.
Okay. So I think maybe she needs more of a pointer as to what you're looking for, ma'am. Not the meaning. Think of the word ending. How would you change it as a part of speech?
Mostly,
what is the noun? Protective.
Yes, protective.
Protective is, there's protective, and then the noun form of that is?
I think protective.
Yeah, protector, yes. So you could have
protection.
What about protection?
Protection, protector.
Yes.
So I guess protection and something.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this word can be used in many ways.
That's what I wanted to go with. So it's kind of sounds like real words where you can like start to change them and put them in any kind of context.
Yes. Yeah. Lovely, I think. So well done, both of you.
Yes. Really well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next school is Delhi Public School, Newtown.
Yes, ma'am. There was a CSP, ma'am.
Yes, a Calcutta Social Project or something.
CSP, the last news that I got was not participating.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just saw it in the list.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So the first word that I made, so I'm Srishta Paul from DPS Newtown, and I'm participating in the Susotopia competition. The first word that I've made is create. It's a verb. We knew that Grinch hated Christmas. He hated everybody. accept himself. So I decided to use the Grinch in hate, and I made create. The meaning is to not like to do something. Like I create swimming. So in the picture, you can see that the illustrator has drawn the face of the boy as the Grinch, and he's covering his face and with a bad expression because he's looking at something that he doesn't like. The next word that I made was tamati. It's an adverb and it means a very high degree, and the etymology is Tom plus naughty. We know about Tom Sawyer in the book The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, and he was like really naughty. In one instance, he was hiding somewhere and his Aunt Polly was looking for him, and when she finally found him, his lips were stained with the red jam that she had made for Mrs. Harper, and he stuffed 1 pound of sugar in his pockets. So I consider that as very naughty. So I made tamati. His performance in the final exam was tamati poor. Here, it means a very high degree. So we thought that we would draw a thermometer and it's blazing with heat. So the thermometer has taken its cap off. The next word that I made is Padorable, which is an adjective. It means a loving and an adorable child. It's used to describe children. We already know about Winnie the Pooh. It's very famous. It's also been made into movies and many and yes. So the sentence is Anna looks adorable when she sleeps. And here the illustrator has drawn a little baby, and he has dressed it as Winnie the Pooh, and it's eating some honey, and it looks very adorable. Therefore, it's Padorable. Yes, ma'am. And Winnie the Pooh was adorable, so we got this idea of making it Padorable.
Adrit, anything you'd like to add?
Yes. Yeah. Ma'am, I'm the illustrator and my name is Adrit Sinha, and I decided to put some elements from the characters to my illustrations. Okay. In the first word, the great, as Grinch had a grumpy nature and hated Christmas and hated everything related to it, this word shows that when someone intensely dislikes to do something, he or she she shows a Grinch-like nature. As the word has come from Grinch, I decided to add an element in my illustration. This is why I gave the face of Grinch and the hands of Grinch, but the rest of the body is a normal boy. The second word, tamati, as this word has come from Tom Sawyer, I decided to add an element of Tom in my illustration. I always felt Tom wore a straw hat when he was out on his adventures. So, like Huckleberry Finn. So I decided to put a small tiny hat to the thermometer. The thermometer shows a very high temperature, so much that it itself is also sweating. This shows the meaning of the word comes to a very high degree. Now we come to Padorable. The word has come from Winnie the Pooh by A.A. Milne. So and I have decided to add 2 elements in my illustration. The red shirt that he wears and the pot of honey he eats. So I also made the baby like she was loving the honey.
I noticed the elements and I like them, especially the Tom Sawyer one. That was very, very nice touch.
Thank you.
My question to Shrestha is, how is create different from hate?
Create means to hate something like a lot, and hate means just normal hate. But create means to hate something like the Grinch hated Christmas.
Okay.
Do you think create sounds quite a bit like create?
Yes, ma'am. It's a rhyming word.
Yeah, it's very close.
So are you thinking of the danger of mixing up the two?
No, ma'am, because G and C is a totally different consonant. Yes. But it can be used in a poem.
Are you thinking of
rhyming? Maybe.
She likes to create, but maths she does create.
Why maths?
Just off the top of my head, because everyone seems to like chocolate and hate maths. So when I saw tomato, I kind of thought of a tomato. And the red in the illustration helped. So, but I think nicely done.
Yes, in fact, that looks like a pouch of tomato ketchup, in a sense.
Yes, it does. Doesn't it?
And I made a cartoon thermometer.
I just had, I think, one doubt, but I think, okay. Padorable was quite nice. Okay. Any other questions, ma'am?
No.
Okay. Well done, both of you.
Yes.
Nicely done.
Thank you, ma'am.
You.
Thank you. Next up, a Delhi Public School Ruby Park.
A very good afternoon to all the esteemed judges present here. I, Arunika Goswami of Class 5, along with my teammate Lesha Chatterjee of Class 4 DPS Ruby Park, are here today to introduce the 3 very amazing words coined by me and very beautifully and aptly illustrated by my teammate Lesha Chatterjee. So the first word is hortensia. The syllable division of this word is hor-tin-sia. The newly coined word hortensia means to try every possible course of action to save someone from danger, no matter what other people may think or say. This word is formed by using 2 words, horten and sincere. This word is a verb and it invokes Horton, the literary character from the story Horton Hears a Who by Dr. Seuss. In the story Horton Hears a Who, Horton sincerely tries to help the tiny who's. The kangaroo and others make fun of him as they can't see whom Horton is helping. But Horton believes that a person is a person no matter how small. So the meaning of this newly coined word is similar. And we can say that Horton hortensias. My teammate Lesha has beautifully illustrated this word by showing a girl saving a girl who is herself is in danger. Her umbrella is torn during the storm, but still she is helping the dog during the storm. We can say that she comes forward and hortensias. To use the word hortensia in a sentence, we can use we can use this word hortensia in a sentence like Ria is very caring person as she always comes forward and hortensias. Now, the second very interesting word is gringate. The syllable division of this word is gring-ate. Gringate means a person who hates enjoyment. It is a noun. This word invokes Grinch from the story How the Grinch Stole the Christmas by Dr. Seuss. Gringate is formed by using the literary character Grinch and the word hate. In the story, Grinch hates Christmas. Every year, people of the Who Village eagerly wait for this festival. But Grinch, who hates Christmas celebrations, tries to ruin their preparations and celebrations. Why? Because Grinch is a gringate, and living like a gringate is sheer madness. And Lesha has illustrated it so well that there is no need of explanation. So we can use this word in a sentence like everyone needs enjoyment in their life, otherwise living like a gringate is madness. So now the third word means last but not the least is alliteration. This newly coined word is the word I like the most, and my teammate Lesha likes it too. The word alliteration is formed by using the literary character Alice from the story Alice in Wonderland, written by Lewis Carroll. And the word dreamy. The syllable division of this word is Ali Dream Ik Shin. It is a noun, and this word invokes Alice. Alliteration is a completely new genre of books. These are stories that inspire people to be curious and chase their dreams. And alliteration highlights that if we are curious, means if we are not curious to explore and not willing to chase our dreams, we will never be able to discover the beautiful world around us, which is full of unknown and fascinating things. So curiosity and chasing our dreams do not lead to troubles. They lead to the discovery of amazing things. The word can be used in a sentence in the following manner. Rahul loves to read alliterations. Lesha has beautifully illustrated this word. The book shown in the illustration is a must read. It is about the dreams of a bird from a wonderland, the bizarre land where Alice lands up after falling into a rabbit hole. It is written by M. Pecutrick. And the name of this bird is burletus. So go to your nearest bookshop to grab a copy of it. You all will simply love it. So these are a few of our newly coined words. Thank you.
I think I definitely want to hear from the illustrator. Resha, your thoughts? You're on mute.
Me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
First illustration shows a stormy day. It's raining very heavily. There is a waterlogging. The dog is stuck, and the girl, who herself is facing trouble in the midst of the storm, is trying to help the dog. The person dressed in blue also sees the dog, but doesn't bother and walks away. He's busy protecting himself, but the girl comes forward and Hortensia's. The second illustration shows the fat man is a grenade as he hates to enjoy, and the other people are enjoying having fun, laughing, dancing, singing, and lot more. They're just loving it. But the fat man is not, because he is a gringate. The third illustration shows a book. That book is an alliteration, which means it has stories that inspire people to be curious and follow their dreams. It's about a bird from Wonderland, the place where Alice landed after she fell into a rabbit's hole. Thank you.
Does so how do you say it? You say it as dreams of burlitus.
Burlitus, ma'am. Dreams of burlitus.
And I mean, is there something you were thinking of when you came up with the name burlitus?
Ma'am, actually, we were discussing, like, we had some Zoom sessions, like, we had some Zoom meetings, and there we discovered, there we came up with these ideas of, we made the word burlitus from the word bazooka, and we made the word pecudrake from the words, from the group of words speck of dust.
Okay, that's quite a stretch of the imagination, which is what this theme of fiction is. So that's quite interesting. Ma'am?
No questions really.
Yeah, just I think again an illustration question. So the man who doesn't like Diwali, is he deliberately two-headed? I mean, you've given a kind of cuboid look to the face.
He just hating it.
He
doesn't like to enjoy only. So he's standing away from the festival and just looking at them grumpily.
Okay.
No, but why does he have two heads?
This is nature. He doesn't like it.
Yes, ma'am.
Like a grumpy giant of some kind.
Yeah, he's just like very grumpy and just like he doesn't enjoy.
Huh. And there's someone bursting firecrackers wearing a tie.
Yes, ma'am. Like
I tried to make it cartoonistic.
Yes,
like
ma'am.
in cartoon, there can be anything.
Uh-huh.
Someone wearing frog, jeans, tie, shirt.
Very innovative drawings, I think.
Yeah. So we have gringate and we have great.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Those two words are quite similar. And the words are also same, Grinch and hate.
Right. Yes, but I think alliteration, which sounds a little bit like alliteration, is quite out of the ordinary.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next in line is Lakshmipat Singhania Academy.
Good afternoon, judges and everyone present here. My name is Anushka Dua from class 5, representing Lakshmipat Singhania Academy. I am participant 1.
Good afternoon, judges. I am Devansh Danya from Lakshmipat Singhania Academy and I am participant 2.
The following are the words that I've coined. The first one is dynamite, a noun coined from the words dinosaur and dynamite.
Something wrong with Zoom?
Probably a power cut.
I think she got disconnected.
Hello?
Devansh is there.
We can hear you.
Okay. Can I continue?
Yes.
Yes.
We can't see you for some reason, but
The first word is dynamite, a noun coined from the words dinosaur and dynamite, meaning a small child with loud vocal cords. Our neighbor's child will surely grow up to be a great singer because he is a dynamite. The syllables of the word are dy-no-mite. The second word is feludating, a verb coined
not able to hear her.
No.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, you're back.
Again.
Can you do feludating again?
Yes, ma'am. The second word is feludating, a verb coined from the two words feluda and investigating, meaning to act like a detective. The third word is Rapunzel, an adjective coined from words Rapunzel and tangled, meaning difficult to handle like Rapunzel's dresses. The first word, dynamite. I have a baby cousin who has very loud vocal cords and just doesn't stop crying. I realized that there was no word that described a kid with a loud voice, so that's how I got my inspiration for this word. Hello, can you hear me?
Now we can, Anushka.
Okay. So, ma'am, should I repeat like from the starting?
No. We heard how you got your inspiration for dynamite. Did you say anything after that?
So, ma'am, I'll continue from feludating?
Yes, please. Just if you said anything right now, I think.
I have been an avid reader.
Go on.
I have been an avid reader since my childhood. I've read a book of Dr. Satyajit Ray, The Bandits of Bombay, which included a character who was a detective called Feluda. It was one of the best books I have ever read and thus chose to create a word related to it. This last word, Rapunzel,
No, we're losing her.
Ma'am Devan, should I continue it?
Yes, yes, please do.
I've returned. Can I continue?
Yes, please.
The last word, Rapunzel. I first got the idea for this word when my hair got tangled up in a mess, and it took a few painful hours to straighten it out again. So I decided to coin a word associated to this common matter among girls. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Devansh, anything you want to say?
So my inspiration for the first drawing was my partner. My partner based it on her baby cousin, but I got the idea from my neighbor's kid who keeps shouting throughout the day and never stops crying.
Okay.
Poor child.
For the second word, peludating, I got the idea as in many movies it is shown that detectives always carry magnifying glasses and always are very observant and careful. And for the last word, I got the idea from when my mother and my grandmother always start struggling trying to untangle their hair. So that is how I got the idea of Rapunzel.
I have a few difficult questions. Anushka, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Anushka, I thought that the idea was to take literary characters.
Yes,
so why
ma'am.
dino?
Dino, actually, that's a word, dinosaur. I took that from an encyclopedia, and there's another book. It's in many books actually, and there's also some movies which has dinosaurs included. So it's actually dinosaur, not dino.
Ma'am, it's from the book Dinosaur versus Bedtime by Bob Shea.
Okay. I was just wondering if there was a specific character you had in mind.
It's also from encyclopedias, many encyclopedias also.
My encyclopedias don't give us
characters.
the source material is a little
not
different.
like a story, but they're very informative and have lots of
course, absolutely
information.
Comes from books. The other one was actually that feludating, you said, is a verb.
Yes, ma'am. Feludating, acting like a detective.
So I think I have a slight disagreement there, but Devi ma'am?
Yeah, I mean, I would think of Feluda, and then suddenly
Yes,
it becomes
ma'am.
day.
It is combined from that only.
Yes.
The character Feluda and investigating.
You see, I think maybe the verb form should be feludate, and the participle could be feludating.
That can be used, but I think feludating is a nice example of a verb instead than feludate.
But when you're using it as puts Rahul in a feludating mode, do you think feludating in that sentence is a verb?
Well, he like it's in the sentence. It means that he starts asking people what happened, like why did
You're
it
being
come out.
your grammar teacher, your English teacher over here. I think your English teacher might disagree there. So what's your verb in the example sentence?
She's gone again. Oh, there she is.
Ma'am, to keep feludating the word in its verb form, we can keep the sentence as even a book out of its place gets Rahul feludating.
Try something more.
If you want to give feludating, then maybe Rahul is feludating. Then we could, but without using the continuous form, I don't see.
When any suspicious activity takes place in the neighborhood, Rahul starts feludating.
But that's again feludating. There's no I can't form sentences with feludate. That's why we gave feludating. We tried to form with feludate. We even thought Rahul likes to feludate when he sees a book out of its place. Maybe that might work instead of feludating. But it doesn't sound very right. It doesn't sound correct. Feludating, I think, sounds better than feludate.
Think of the word date and see how you use it as a verb. You're too young to be thinking of
Sorry,
dates,
I couldn't hear you because of my network.
Can you think of the word date as a verb?
Rahul feludated when he saw something moving in the bush.
Okay.
Nice attempt. So I think without going into grammar too much, an interesting idea. Although I always thought Bombay was the buccaneer of Bombay and not the bandits of Bombay. But
no, ma'am, it's like bandits of Bombay.
Yeah, no, it's no, I know it's a new translation. They've come out with it as the Bandit of Bombay. When we read it, which was many years ago, it was the Buccaneer of Bombay.
But I don't think the word buccaneer will resonate with them, with this generation. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, they read that Tintin, so maybe. I have a buccaneer in my background, so I'm going to mute a little bit. Okay, but well attempted, and I think nicely illustrated. Ma'am, did you have any questions?
No, nothing to ask.
Then maybe we can move on.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, judges.
Thank you.
Next up is Modern High School for Girls.
Okay, I'll just take a short break if you don't mind.
Yes, ma'am.
A minute, not more than that. I don't want to miss their presentation.
Sure, ma'am.
Ma'am, once ma'am comes back, then I will share screen. Ma'am Mitra?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, in the meantime, Dhyashri, as I was like, watching the presentations, I think the students have really outdone themselves. I'm sure you're going to have, I mean, I don't know what time you're going to have, but thank God I'm not one of the judges. And what I really like is, they're defending their ground pretty well. Especially the spelludate and feludating.
I think the interaction, and I really love the idea of your fest as well, because when you give judges a chance to interact with the people who have created it, I think that really makes things more interesting.
Right.
And yes, there are many entries which, if I had seen them just on paper when I looked at them, you sent it across, I was impressed throughout, but I think I'm a little bit more impressed by the difference of any of the.
Certainly, yeah, because the judges' interaction, I think, is extremely important, and also I felt that both students should be given a chance to speak, because let's understand why the illustration has been done in the way it has been done.
And there's a lot of thought behind the illustrations, very little details which you might miss.
Absolutely. And what I really liked is, the team came up with the idea that at first we had thought that, okay, we'll put everybody in the waiting room and, one at a time. I said, listen, the way I think I know the judges, and I think they'll be very, very happy that if everybody.
Yeah, it's also helping. It's also helping the participants themselves,
I said, whatever happens, I'm just, I have to attend this because, because it's also a learning experience for me. Right, Devidi is back. So Devidi, I was doing the fillers for you. Right, I'm going to go behind the scenes, please. Yeah,
right.
Very happy.
The floor is yours. Thanks.
Yes.
Modern High School.
Next is Modern High School, Mamitra.
Yes, please. Modern High School.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Good afternoon, dear judges. Me with my partner Samstita will be showing our words for this coinage event. Okay. So the first word is Yukazukshin. We got the well, what was so it means that when someone is confused with multiple choices, we got the word from the story, the Butter Battle, from and the characters they were and it was inspired by the characters, the Yuks and the Zooks, because they were confused with the choices of how to put their butter on their bread. The usage of the word Yukazukshin is our Yukazukshin at the candy store left the shopkeeper exasperated. Also, Yukazukshin is a noun.
Should I explain the illustration now?
Yes, now Samstita will explain the. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in the illustration, there is a girl and she has walked into a store and so like the first problem is she doesn't know if she should buy a new phone or a new tablet because she really loves them all.
Okay, so the next one is
Wait, what happened? So the next word is jojorker. It means jojorker is a noun. It means when someone shirks from work. It was inspired by Jojo, who was a character from Horton Hears a Who, and we got it, and Jojorker was inspired by Jojo and to shirk. The usage of Jojorker is he is a complete Jojorker when it comes to completing his assignments on time. Now, Samstita will explain the Jojorker illustration.
Ma'am, can you please scroll up a little? Yes. So, like in the picture, there is a person who has a lot of homework to do for the next day. But like after seeing just how much work he has, he doesn't feel like doing it. And so he decides to pass on an excuse at school the next day. And so that's the definition of the illustration.
Yes, ma'am. Samstita, you have to explain this word.
Okay, so and the third and the last word is swamang, and so swamang means a song that is like just like melodious, like the song of a Swami song. And so like the word was inspired from the Lorax, and it came from the two words Swami and song. So like we get swamang, and an example of where we can use the word is she mesmerized the audience with her swamang performance. And like in the picture, I have illustrated a swamang swan flying in the sky while singing.
And the swamang is a verb. And that is it for our presentation today.
Okay. It's nice. This yokazukshin is a good word, I think. You know, it's interesting.
So you haven't mentioned what other word you've merged in the etymology of yokazukshin. Swamang is plus the word song. Jojurker, you used the word shirk. Was there a specific word you had in mind for yokazukshin?
No, ma'am. Like you could say that the shun part, like kind of like from the word confusion, and yuks and zuks from the story of course.
Yes, ma'am.
Confusion, indecision, they all work.
So it means we got it from yuk, zuk, and confusion.
Okay. I think most of all, I like the dialogue for Jojo. That was such a. I have so much homework, so I'll just come up with an excuse instead of doing the work. That was a lovely moment right there. But because it would be unfair on our previous participants if I didn't point this out, I think, again, with swamang performance, I'm not sure why you're labeling it as a verb.
Again.
Yes, that parts of speech class. Would you like to reconsider your part of speech?
I don't think so, ma'am.
So a verb does the action in a word, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So when we say swamang performance, the audience is she mesmerized the audience. You've got a verb there. If you're performing, perform is a verb. But swama, what is the action?
Yeah, like Sambhag is actually like defining the type of the performance, but like Shivanti,
it's describing the performance, right? So,
like it's supposed to be an adjective.
Yes, it's supposed to be an adjective. I just wrote it wrong in the slide. I forgot to change it.
Right. Okay. We shall accept that. But a nice word. And I liked it because it made me think of a swan song. It's like swan.
Okay, I don't have any questions as such.
Hey, nicely done. And nice illustrations and words. Well done.
Thank you. The next up is Mahadevi Birla World Academy.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ranjini Sil, and I'm from Mahadevi Birla World Academy. My partner is Anika Mohan. The first word is elsnolayer, which is a noun. The meaning of it is a person who loves to play with snow. The sentence is an enthusiastic elsnolayer. My brother jumps with joy at the slightest mention of hill stations in winter. The origin is Elsa plus snow plus played plus heart. The syllable division is el snow lay year. The second word is Rapunzel, which is a noun as well as an adjective. The meaning is a person who is sad because he or she must stay alone at home. The adjective version of the sentence is, whenever my parents go outside to buy things, I turn on my Rapunzel attitude. The noun version of the sentence is, I try not to be a Rapunzel by hanging out with my friends. The origin of the word is Rapunzel plus Holmes plus sad. The syllable division is Ra-pa-nom-sad. And the third word is Yukaginar, which is a noun. The meaning is a chaotic situation which feels like a war. The sentence is, yesterday my parents had a Yukaginar about a misplaced watch. It was like they lost the entire world. The origin is yuks plus begin plus war. And the syllable division is yukaginar. Now my partner Anika will explain her illustrations.
Okay. For elsolayer, I decided to do a drawing of and boy playing with snow. But there's a twist. So in heaven, there's a God. You can see it right here in the clouds. So this God is scratching his head and dandruff is falling over. And he's saying, oh, dandruff is irritating. And they all come as snow from earth. And they all come to earth as snow. So technically, that boy is playing with dandruff. Okay. For Rapunzel, eyes. Okay. For Rapunzel, I drew a picture of a Rapunzel-esque girl trapped in a room while she watches in this window. Yeah, there. Two children praying and falling like la da dee da la da. And there's a locked door. And this girl is sighing and saying, I wish this door would just unlock so that I can go out and play with them, and imagining what would it be like. Next. Okay. For Yuka Kinnard, there's two people. Now they're bickering, like blah 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 blah, and there's a person in the middle. He's like, oh God, he's starting to tear. She's starting to tear up. It's like, God, this Yuka Kinnard feels like a real life World War. Three.
Okay. Why should snow be dandruff?
Ma'am, because dandruff is like white as snow. Like when you scratch it, white flakes fall out. So
well, a lot of myths, I think, would resonate with what she's illustrated, because I can think of one where the god's toenail grows into the earth tree, I think, and there's things like that. So there is a literary tradition of the rain being tears of a god and so on and so forth. So I think that was an interesting twist. Do you think the words are a little on the longer side? Because you've merged 3 words together in most cases?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
I have no questions. I think you've done a great job. And a lot of hard work has gone into this and thought.
How do you pronounce the second word? I don't think I've got it.
Ma'am, it's pronounced as Rapunzel.
Rapunzel. Okay. Well, no questions really. Do you have any?
No, I mean, Rapunzel makes me feel a little like saying Schadenfreude. But so I can see that if we were German speakers, then these very long words would resonate quite nicely. But yeah, well thought out. I think nicely done, both of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is Ruby Park Public School.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, judges and my amazing friends who have coined such great words. I am Sudiksha Chaudhary from class 4A and I have made 3 words. And my partner Aries, I believe, made beautiful illustrations. First word I had made was Elna. I had taken the word snow and a simple character Elsa.
And since she had ice powers, I made an ice castle. And she made an ice castle. So I thought of Elna. It means to create something with snow. It is a verb, and I thought of this word because as the winter season is going on and it is snowing in many places, so children may be making snowmans or making other things with snow. So I thought of this word. It has an easy pronunciation. El noun. It is a verb and the examples I have used. I el now the perfect snow. Another example is opponent team has el now 20 snowballs. The second word is snoppy. I had taken this word from the story of the Snow White and the Little Crafts because when I was thinking about these words, I got hungry. So I was asking my mom if I could have something like chips, but my mom said that it has a lot of calories. Then I thought I could use the story of Snow White. Um, in these cases, people use the word snoppy instead of calories or unhealthy. So I had created the word snob. It is an adjective and it means something injurious to health. And the example I had given was junk is snobbly. Another example can be having too many sweets is snobbly. The last word is Cinti. I had taken two words, Cinderella and Beauty. Since Cinderella was hardworking, she was a beautiful young lady was later the queen. So the word Cinti is an adjective and it means like someone who's very beautiful and hardworking. This is an adjective, and in the examples I have written that my mom is Cinti. Another example that all teachers are Cinti. So I have just kept my words a little short because it's easier to pronounce and use in sentences. Thank
Aris, would you like to add something?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Anything you want to say about your illustrations?
Yes, ma'am. I have drawn the picture describing the word elno, which means to make something with snow. Here, a boy is making a sand castle and also has made a snowman. In the word snowball, I have drawn that wearing no mask is like giving our lives. Wearing no mask is like giving our lives. And smoking and drinking are injurious to our health. In the word Sinti, I have drawn Mother Teresa because she is very hardworking. And for me, the word beautiful is not describing the outer beauty, but the beauty in the soul and the heart. Thank you, man. That's all.
Thank you. I thought that was very deeply thought out. And I liked what you said about beauty being in the soul and the heart. Ma'am, questions?
I can't think of any.
I just had an observation, which is that el now sounds a bit like elbow. Where you say el node, I elbowed someone. But yes, no questions.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, thank you, ma'am.
Is there any suggestions or any?
Sorry, what was the question?
Is there any improvement needed to be made?
Well, I like both your presentation and the illustrations that you've drawn, ma'am.
Yeah, but I was wondering if they should have explained the connections between, say, Snow White and Apple. What is the connection?
Like in the story, Snow White had eaten an apple and then she fainted. Like
Yes,
it will
so
also
your presentation could include the origin, the explanation of that.
Yes.
Granted that yes, the judges do know because judges are know-it-alls, but
And we've grown up with these stories, so.
But yes, the thought that you have here is a nice thought. So bringing that out, very true, ma'am.
Okay.
I think no other questions. Well done, both of you.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Next up is South Point School.
Ma'am, I have to change some.
Sorry?
Actually, take a leave at some.
I'm sorry, I could not hear that properly.
I have to some.
Who's speaking? Sudiksha?
Yes, Sudiksha Chaudhary.
Yes. Actually, I couldn't hear you properly. I'm very sorry.
Ma'am, can I please take a leave? I need to go somewhere.
Sure, please.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Please do.
And can I switch off my video because I will have lunch?
May I please switch off my video? My network will work better if I do.
I think in all fairness, ma'am, we've probably gone on a little longer than was planned.
Yes.
If children want to switch off their videos, I'm okay with that. Baby, ma'am?
Yes, I think so. You could switch off your videos.
Especially if you haven't had lunch, please do so.
Ma'am, those who have finished, can they leave?
I think we're down to the last two participants.
Yes, I think we just got
so in
two
all
participants.
Ma'am, this is the last presentation, South Point.
No, we have Sri Shiksha.
We have Sri Shikshayatan left. After South Point, it is Sri Shikshayatan.
Unless someone has somewhere urgent to go, I'd ask that everyone stay because it's not fair that just because these two come at the end, they should be deprived of an audience. I think, ma'am?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
It's only too fair that they stay.
So we'd ask you to stay unless you, of course, have something very urgent. But yes, turn off your videos and have lunch.
Thank you. Thank you, participants, for being so patient. It's just a few more minutes.
Ma'am, I'm Inakshi Module and I am representing South Point School. So, the first word in our list is Grinchona vigorous. With the ongoing pandemic disrupting our normal lives and daily routines, I wondered if Dr. Seuss would think up another humorous title for depicting this abnormal situation. And what funny names would he have come up with? So, based on the text that I had read, I thought up these words. Grinchona vigorous. It means a virus that forces people to stay indoors so that they cannot celebrate Christmas, just like the way Grinch wanted. And as we all know, because of the coronavirus, we are being forced to stay indoors. The Wickersham brothers in Horton Hears a Who, written by Dr. Seuss, were very mean and they were a threat to the Whoville's people or the Whos. Similarly, in real life also, the A virus is a threat of existence to the human beings as they are affecting and causing great havoc in all the human cities and towns. That is why I've clubbed Grinch and Corona plus Wickersham and virus to make Grinchona Vicarus. Sentence: It was a grim Christmas as everyone was afraid to go out because of Grinchona virus. Grinchona Vicarus. Yes, ma'am. The next word is hollering. The hollering means hollering very loudly. In the story, Horton hears a who. Horton asked all the who's of Whoville to holler, scream, and make a racket so that everyone would be able to hear them and believe that they existed. Similarly, hollering means hollering very, very loudly. Sentence: The children were hollering as soon as they saw the delicious chocolate cake baked by their mother. And the last but not the least is Alisantasy. It means a state of mind when someone is lost in fantasy. In the book Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, written by Lewis Carroll, Alice was continuously fantasizing and dreaming of all the wonderful things. And so I have written that it is Alisantasy, that it means lost in fantasy. Sentence: I felt wistful after I was awakened by my mother from my Alisantasy. Thank you.
Okay, the illustrator.
Yes, I would love to add a few things. So I am Samriddhi Majumdar from South Point School, class 4. So in this word, Grinchona Vicarus, I have made the head of the Grinch, as the prime word here is Grinch. And as the Wickersham brothers were monkeys, I have made their ears and their tail. And I have also added a prime feature from the Grinch, which are their hands. Whenever Grinch thought of a new idea, he started drumming his hands. So I added the hands to give a specific flavor of the Grinch here. Now, as we're talking about the coronavirus, I have added the body of the coronavirus here too. As Enakshi said, this Grinchona Vicarus is a virus which keeps all people indoors. So the children are all indoors at the time of Christmas, which is the time for joy and celebrating. Their hearts should be filled with enjoyment, but instead they're stuck at home indoors. They're all saying that we are stuck at our homes at the jolly time of Christmas. I have also added snow as Christmas is celebrated in the winter season, where children can make snowman. But as it is a grim Christmas, children cannot make snowman. I've also added some Christmas trees, but the stars here are black because as Grinchona Vicarus is an evil virus, he has done all the good stars, which are marks of the angel, the yellow stars, black in his evil shadow. The next one is hollering. It means that shouting loudly, as the who's of the Whoville shouted loudly to prove their existence to the Wickersham brothers and the Sar kangaroos. The children here are also telling their mother to let them eat the cake which had been baked by their mother. It was really looking very delicious. So their mother are also tired of their continuous hollering. So she's telling them to stop hollering so that she can divide the pieces among them very nicely and equally. The children cannot resist themselves from such a delicious cakes. In Alisantasy, I have drawn a girl which looks like Alice, and she is just wondering. She is lost in a fantasy.
Her homework book is opened in front of her, but she is dreaming of all the wonderful things she can. She is dreaming that she has silver wings, and the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland is also beside her, speaking that he is becoming late, and the queen must feed him. They are jumping over a rainbow in order to reach the Queen of Hearts of Alice in Wonderland. Thank you.
I like Grinchona Vicarus.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Though I don't know when and how you can use it.
Well, ma'am, it is just an imaginary and a character that sprang out of my creativity, and that's why I put it down. Yes. So I also decided it the way in actually, design the sentences so that I can give out the meanings properly, and there are no exceptions in giving out the meanings. I really enjoyed it. Yes, ma'am. And the previous year's Christmas, that of 2021, usually in Christmas in my family, we all get together and celebrate merrily. But because of this coronavirus, we could not do it. And that is why I wrote Grinchona Vicarus, because I couldn't celebrate Christmas as merrily as I would have if coronavirus wasn't there. Yes, definitely.
It sounds more like a scientific name, though. Sounds quite. So not only have you coined a new word, you've coined a scientific name. Sounds like that. I like foolery.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Maybe after Omicron, it'll be the new name of the new virus. Grinchona Vicarus.
Yeah.
But where are the rabbits that you mentioned? I can't see them. The rabbit with
rabbit
Alice.
was with a stopwatch in his hand.
Yes.
It was at the topmost corner of the bubble.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe I missed that.
It with the red coat who was like hurrying that the yes. Otherwise, the queen might have him beheaded. Yes. Like in the topmost corner where it's a red color. It's the rabbit is here with a stopwatch and with wings.
Right.
Quite an interesting set of ideas behind that drawing.
Yes.
I think that's a lot of thought. I have no questions, but well done, both of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Also presented with a great deal of enthusiasm at the end of a very long session. So, good for you. Ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. And last but not the least, we have Sri Shikshayatin. Sri Shikshayatin School.
Good afternoon, judges. I am Anisha Mukherjee. I study in Sri Shikshayatin School, class 5. And my partner is Aripriya Pal. She studies in class 4. And the first word in our coinage document is Eldoran. It is originated from Dumbledore, which is a famous character from Harry Potter series. He is the head of the wizarding school, Hogwarts, and he is known as the most powerful wizard in the magical world. So as Dumbledore was so much of fantasy, and I decided to make something out of fantasy, so I added the word garden and I made Eldoran. And the meaning is a magical garden nurtured by a wizard, because Dumbledore is a wizard, and how he nurtures his children, and that's how the wizard also nurtures his garden. In the illustration, Alipriya has shown how the wizard is nurturing the garden, which is with his magical wand and his magic plants. So the next word is jackastic, which means extremely enthusiastic about everything. So basically, this word is made from Jack and the Beanstalk. There, Jack was very enthusiastic about climbing the beanstalk. Her mother threw away from the window. And mentioning Jack's enthusiasm, I made this word with Jack and enthusiastic and made jackastic. The sentence here is one should possess a jackastic nature for climbing the mountain. Means means one should possess a very enthusiastic heart and will to climb a mountain. It's a hard job, and she has illustrated it very well. And so the next word is home serve. The meaning is to have a sharp observation, and it's a verb. The origin is Sherlock Holmes, from the case book of Sherlock Holmes. I have read Sherlock Holmes, and I really love how he observes the tiny clues which I overcome. And I have added the word observe with Sherlock Holmes and made home serve. And the sentence here is we need to home serve the matter before the culprit runs away. In the illustration here, a man is looking at various clues to home serve the case.
I can't hear.
Yeah, my connection is coming and going. I missed the last bit. Was there anything to add on the illustrations?
No, the illustrator hasn't spoken yet, I think.
Yes, ma'am, I want to add something.
Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. I have drawn the garden. This is called Eldorado, and the trees of this garden gives out oxygen at night, and the fruits of these trees has smiley faces, and if people eat them, they become happy. And here the flowers of this garden give out light for the plants at night automatically. And some flowers have different colors in different petals. And some mushrooms here have showers the plants at all day. It doesn't need anything to shower. It automatically showers. I've drawn a picture of Jackie St. I have drawn a boy that is trying to climb up a straight hill, and it is not easy for general people. It is only possible for those people who has the eagerness or the enthusiasm to do this kind of work. I have drawn the picture of Holmes' Here the man is using two accessories to find the minute and the finest thing that it could find. And here I have used the two accessories, that is one binocular and one Magnifying glass.
I have a question for Anisha. Does Eldorin bring any other word to mind?
Ma'am, when I thought of the word Eldorin, and then I thought of the clarity of the words which I used, I thought that associating it with a garden, magical garden would be the best. So I don't see any other words.
El Dorado in sight.
Have you heard the word El Dorado?
Yes, ma'am, I have heard the word El Dorado.
So a lot happening in that illustration of a garden. A lot of very nice, interesting ideas over there.
And very positive ideas.
Very positive ideas. I like the smiling apples. And the magic mushrooms, but yeah. I was just wondering why, sorry,
no.
I was just wondering why a binocular and a magnifying glass together? Not a binocular, actually, probably a telescope more like.
To get the strongest observation of the object.
Reinforcing the view. Okay, that's interesting. I have no other questions.
No, nor do I.
But yes, I think these are the last two. So they waited very patiently for the entire session. So, but that was very nicely done. Ma'am, should we move on?
I think we should move on now. But well done.
Thank you, judges. Would you like to share any comments now that you have met all the children? I mean, other than on their work?
I don't think it's easy to, work in isolation without going to school, without meeting your friends. And I think it's a tough thing. But in spite of that, they've shown such creativity and, what should I say, ability to interact. Really good job.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I think that I think the children here might be too young, but the New Yorker at the end of every year, they have these they have these competitions, or they have these they request people to send in new words, and to come up with new words, or to come up with words that they'd like to remove from the dictionary. So they have an ongoing annual coinage event. A lot of papers in fact do this, and so there are I frequently come across these coinage events where people come up with new words. And I remember last year there was a word which today seems very appropriate, because they'd ask people to join words and make new words. So somebody joined Monday and days, D-A-Z-E, and made Mondays, which is usually the impact that Monday has on you, because it's the first day of the week, it leaves you in a daze. But I think I would like to say that I'm left in a daze at the general brilliance of everybody who participated today. I completely agree with Ma'am Mukhopadhyay that it's very difficult to work in isolation. And while I love the idea of the event that the school came up with, and this whole Zoostopia thing, because it'll make people read more and think more, I really think everybody here has done a very fabulous job. That's all.
Really.
And
in a hall full of children now, I would say 3 cheers for.
So I guess we can still do it. So, we can all say 3 cheers for, and let the children, at least, we can do this for the children, right?
Everybody unmute and say
yeah.
hip
hip hooray. Come on. That's the spirit. So come, start. 1, 2, 3. Unmute and say hip hip hooray.
Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray.
Hip hip
hooray.
Children, you've done a fabulous job. Everyone agrees. So give yourselves a pat. Come on.
And the best part is, I think the judges are going to have I don't know. Could we coin a word for that? I mean, the time that the judges are going to have trying to judge, I really don't know. But all that I can say is that I think, and I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but I really feel that, yes, the event and everything, that apart, but I think the choice of judges was absolutely fantastic. So thank you so much, Miss Mukhopadhyay and Miss Chattopadhyay. I hope. I mean, and that's such a combination. I mean, unconsciously, this happened. But thank you, Devidi, and thank you, Diyashri, for being such fantastic judges. And, your sense of humor. I mean, I think we started at 12 o'clock. It's nearly 3. But I didn't know how time flew, really. I mean, it was just fantastic. So thank you so much. And now over to Preeti to formally end the whole, end the function. She's going to propose the vote of thanks. So Preeti, over to you.
Ma'am, I want to say something.
Absolutely, please. Yes, absolutely, you must.
Ma'am, you just said that the award should be coined for the time that the judges are going to have. So I just coined a new word, that is difficult judgment.
Wonderful. See, I mean, this is absolutely learning for life. Thank you so much. Thank you. Great.
Very nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very nice. Wonderful. So Preeti, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope everyone had a nice time today.
I'll have to think about the answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
Okay, thank
word.
you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Reading is fun. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. These wise words of Dr. Seuss proved right today. He created a world of fun, imagination, and absolute joy. Such was his magic that he remains with us even today. Just like he used new words, all our students too have coined new words and recreated his history using the literary characters. Thank you, students, for being so creative. We take this opportunity to thank our principal ma'am, Ma'am Saha, and vice principal ma'am, Ma'am Ghosh, for providing our students this wonderful platform to showcase their knowledge and skills. We would like to thank our judges, Ma'am Mukhopadhyay and Ma'am Chattopadhyay, who took time out of their busy schedule to grace this occasion. Thank you, ma'am. We would also like to thank all the principals of the participating schools for encouraging their students to participate. We would like to thank teachers and parents for taking this initiative and training the students. Our sincere gratitude to our coordinator, Ma'am Sarkar, activity coordinators, Ma'am Basu and Ma'am Shukul, for their untiring efforts. Last but not the least, we would like to thank our management for being a pillar of support and making this event a memorable one. Thank you.